or not?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir, your screen. Yes, sir, your PPT is visible.
Okay, fine. So today's topic is that cyber frauds and crimes and their impact on the digital banking services. So here we go with the one of the small video, kind of the story, how the evolution of the digital payment began. Just a moment. Here, this is the video. So it is officially sponsored by and created by Visa.
For over 50 years, Visa has had a vision to be the best way to pay and be paid for everyone, everywhere. Since then, we have been a leader in electronic payments innovation and standardization. From the earliest checkbooks and credit cards, we have been making payments easier, whilst always striving to keep ahead of the curve. Our mission? To create simple, industry-standard payment systems that are available to everyone. Just like when we created the world's first electronic authorization system. And the first ATM network that today has more than 2.5 million access points around the world. And as the technology evolved, so did we. Our innovations contributed to the invention of EMV standard and the credit card with a chip for a higher level of security. But we were only getting started. As new possibilities opened up, a new era of security innovation was created for the online shopping revolution. New technologies, in particular mobile, have had a profound impact, shaping the way we shop, pay, and get paid. Like a global payment standard, using a digital account, simplifying your online purchases that's safe and secure. We've entered the next phase in the evolution of mobile e-commerce. Visa Checkout allows customers to make purchases quickly, easily, and securely from their smartphone, tablet, or PC. And with our partners in the world of financial technology, we're accelerating the speed and scale of innovation. Today, Visa is working to create new technology that will make payments safer, faster, and easier for everyone. So you can use your Visa card everywhere you need it, giving you peace of mind knowing you're in good hands. Visa, the best way to pay and be paid.
Huh. So now here we with the one of the earliest digital payment system. It is called as a M-Pesa. The M-Pesa was introduced in a Kenya. So here you can see is that it is the Nokia 11,000 or one of the oldest cement based phone, where as we are transferring money from UPI like that, they are transferring money in a Kenya. Kenya, we can say is that the country where the infrastructure is not developed so much. Still, in the way back on the 2014, where the India was just thinking about the digital payment, they started. How they started? Like that, they have a trusted banks, they have a some super agents, customers, regulators, agent managers, and all this come into the picture, and they implemented with the help of Vodafone and Siemens, and they created such a value to the African and Kenyan people. The payment in the African continent made it easier. So here we go. Here are the India's biggest and brightest unicorn we had, and it is the architecture of it. See, how we do the so many UPI transaction in a day. Let's say we right now we are into the billions and trillions of the transaction per year from the UPI as a whole country as India. So what we do, some was the person who want to invest in a IPO. Let's say some person wants to invest in a stock market, they go to the broker or intermediary. Subscriber files the forms on the UPI ID and payment option. Subscriber receive the notification and they will just give the pin, and the amount will be blocked into the subscriber amount account, and then they will fill or partial or the no allotment. This is the case with the UPI. So in this case there is the only three main authorities are there: subscriber, authenticator, the subscriber who is filling the UPI details, and the password. So this is the threat map, or we can say is that this is the growth map of the digital payments of India. All the values are in the crore. The blue ones are the volumes, and the orange ones are the values. In the beginning of 2010, we started with the 96 crore transactions with the value of nearly 500 crore, and we now cross in the between of 2019 to 20, we crossed the value of more than 1623 crores with the 3435 crores transactions. It is the green initiative which is started as a NPCI payment gateway in the 2016, I think, or it was the 10th of the August date. And now UPI is globally, and now it is enabled in the European countries, some of the in Asian countries as well, and some of the Gulf countries too. And the impact of the UPI in a Gulf country is the such a way that now the blue collar workers of the in the Gulf country originated from the India are sending a 50 times more money than the previous ones. So now we see the what are the financial frauds. So as we my fellow speakers suggest and that cover the things like that, they cover about bank fraud. So now we says go for the securities fraud. So sometimes the financial fraud happen in a security market too. Digitally, we have a right of day ETF gold. So you can deposit your ETF gold into your Zerodha or any brokerage account, where you can get a similar kind of the phishing or scheming techniques, and your financial statement of the fraud will be generated to you. And there's something e-commerce fraud is a very common thing. Then insurance fraud are also happening in the such times you get some call from the pisabazaar.com or some kind of the similar marketing insurance marketing company, and they just call you and say you can get a 500 rupees uh, pay to us and we will give you 1 crore term insurance. But all these are the fake, be aware. So these are the customers level, and some are the business level type of the fraud detection technique. So how you can detect the fraud? If you are good with maths, you can go with the statistics. You can play with the numbers and play with the parameters of the calculation. What kind of percentage amount is go to the fraud? What will be the next probability? What is the, we can say we do analysis and we will match the data with the previous one. Or if you are good with the coding, then you can go for the data mining. You can mine the data of the previous one. You can go for the machine learning techniques, neural network techniques, or you can recognize the pattern as like a data matching, and you can use supervisor and unsupervised learning. So here we goes that key some of the insurance fraud. So in the insurance fraud, we cover like automobile insurance fraud. Let's say if I driving a car in a Delhi metro, and if I get my car get the crash or some accident, then I immediately need to contact my insurance agency for the claim. But in that case, if the fraud is happening to me, then nobody will be responsible to me, and I need to pay the certain amount for the damage to the another person. And this kind of the frauds are happening in a metro city like Delhi, Bangalore, Chandigarh, and somewhere into the south western coast of the India, Ahmedabad, Bombay, Calcutta. Over there, the what how these are happening like that, they will call you we will go with the paperless and faster procedure. And nowadays, if you go to the normal RTO agent, they will ask you 50 time of different document, and you will just hassle, and you go with this online application and you become we can say a trap of them. Same with the farmers is happening. The initiative of these current farmer protests is not just for the MSP and other prices, but these are the some of the frauds are happening in the with the some of the Punjab farmers. And these are the not come into the public, but this happen and they want go from the government some kind of the protection. That's why that was the happened in our country. Some of the healthcare fraud. These are the very crucial fraud to happen to us in the healthcare sector. If the any kind of insurance fraud happen to the person, then it is the matter of life and death. How? Means if you had an insurance and you had some critical surgery, you are assured कि I will be saved by doctor will be saving me by getting the surgery. But if my insurance company was not paying me, then obviously doctor will not going to save you. So be aware and always whenever you go for any kind of insurance, single if you go for the travel insurance even though, then always read the its terms and conditions. So it always most of the cybersecurity companies use this kind of the data to mine and prevent and protect you from getting a trap of the fraud. So everyone nowadays we use the credit cards or debit cards, but in the India we had a PCI standard, payment security interface standards. So these are the 15 standards. How we started with that? We have a issuer bank who holds the card. It has a customers, and wherever we purchase or we use the card on the POS, we had a merchant and we had a vendors, and the vendors are the we can say payment gateways. There are the so many payment gateways right now available. There some of these are the Rozo Pay, and some of them are this Stripe, and many more are coming into the pictures. They are the vendors, and they have merchants banks, and there is the we can say holders bank where the its card goes to the money. So it has a pin security, card protection physically, logically, and token service provider. Means they have some token authentication methods. So over here, in a card protection, in the logical layer and the token service, the huge role of the cryptography is coming into the picture. After that, if there is the some, they will play with the group theory and encoding, decoding, and some of the algorithms, and they have pins. And now the some of the banks like SBI and many more government sector banks are going advanced and paperless and cardless. They will just give you OTP and your money will be withdraw from ATM if you had that OTP. So PCI, what kind of the PCI requirement is that? PCI requires the secure network, security card holder data, vulnerability management. They always manage the vulnerability. It is the kind of the framework. They have a access control, who is the accessing to the card. They have a network monitoring and testing. Always they continuously rigorously 24 by 7 in the metro city. They will monitor the ATM networks, and they will test that, and they will provide a information security. So how the ATM attacks are possible? ATM attacks are possible from the ATM computer, ATM card cloning, cash depositors. Sometimes you may see that in a local, some of the DC tools are just withdrawing and breaking the entire cash deposit chest from the ATM card, and sometimes they monitor with the network monitoring. And this ATM fraud since beginning, and there is the one very so-called unpopular in a wrong way popular area, the Jam Taravi. That is the it has some series on the Netflix. How the 16 years boy, 13 years boys are committing a ATM crime. The 12 steps for the security and safeguarding your ATMs. Don't save your card information on any website, but we do. Everyone do. Use ATM alone. Be aware for the shoulder suffering. Means there will be no one should be there beside your shoulder. Collect a receipt. Wait for the welcome screen. And I personally on the number 4, I give you one advice like that. Once you collect a receipt, you get a welcome screen. Press 5 time cancel button at least to get that your ATM transaction. Nobody should proceed and commit further transaction on that particular part. Don't respond to any phishing emails and SMS that my fellow speaker already cover. Immediately report to the bank authorities for the unauthorized transaction. You can, if you are with this in the middle of night and you, if something is happening to you unauthorized transaction, immediately call to the bank. They have a 24/7 helpline numbers. And in fact in the US, the credit cards are the more secure than the debit cards, because that credit card has an insurance. If any kind of the fraud is happen to you, they will be bank will be liable to pay the certain amounts. Swipe card in the trusted POC. Lock the skimming devices. Check a pin regularly and change the pin regularly. Keep your ATM pin secret and register for the SMS alerts. These are the, we can say, volumes in the last 3 years. How much amount was the wiped out from our digital economy? In the 2020, it was the 1,85,465 crores of the amount was wiped out from our banks. It was the hard earned cash money of the our upper middle class and the rich people of the India. And these are the list where mostly you, if you can see, is that public sector banks and private sector banks are the cheated most. 10 secrets of the, we can say, cybersecurity. You are always on the target of the hackers. Keep your software so far. We will see everything in this fellow slide. What is the cyber warfare? If you see is that there is the one incidents happened in the just way back after the Galwan incidents. China attacked Israel's embassy and Israel foreign ministry, and they hacked their computers, and they have a voice recorders also. And the same incidents happened way back in 2010 in a African continent parliament. They China offered that we will build a African continental parliament. They built it the building, and additionally they set up the entire IT infrastructure of that particular parliament building. And one of the night, one of the within 5 years of the time, one of the African operator of that parliament was committing a regular operation in the mid of 12 night, and he observed some unusual data transmission, because he is the responsible to upload every meeting data on the cloud. So he observed that some of the data is not going to the cloud, but it is going somewhere else. And he investigated by himself and get a server location. China established it for that particular parliament building. They established it 156 server in China to hear, and we can say make it a manipulation of that particular meetings, so they can influence the entire African continent. We know that African continent is the full of the resources. So this kind of the cyber warfare can be happen. It can be eavesdropping that China do. Sabotage means your machines will be slaves for the some other machines. Denial of service attacks. So let's say sabotage refers to the serial of the secrets, steal of the secrets. uh, eavesdropping refers to, sorry, steal of the secret. Sabotage refers to the, we can say, slaving of the your computer device. DOS is the one of the most oldest and most famous attack of the in the world of hacking. And DOS and DDoS are the very one of the dangerous attack. Even the one of the most powerful country, we can say, in terms of cybersecurity, United States, are not we can say safe from this. Electric power grid attack. In the last time Maharashtra power grid attack was happened some of the time ago, we see that in the war of Ukraine and Russia, the Ukraine power grid attack was happened. Propaganda attack. These are the famous attack where our Ministry of External Affairs used to deal. Some of their enemy countries used to spread a propaganda against the nations, and some of the times against the some global issues. They will tweet a certain kind of the tweets, and they will just manipulate the particular issue. And I can particularly give the one of the giant media house name for this attacks. It is the Global Times, who is the mouthpiece of the Chinese government. Economic disruption. If the BC Sensex was reached today 60,000 point, and they create a certain manipulation like that Indian finance minister is die. So this disruption can create the wipe out the a lot and lakhs and crores of the money from the stock market. Surprise attacks. These are the attacks like a 9/11. They are the done from the electronic warfare device, and it can be in a physical world too. And in the November 2014, Sony Pictures was hacked just to steal their private data of the computer and their corporations. So some of the tips I can say you: think twice before clicking a link, verify the request and private information, protect your password, is use the multi-factor authentication. If you are nowadays, if you observe that if you sign in into your Google account and if you already enable two-factor authentication and you opt for the enhanced security, after the verifying your OTP, you will ask for the Bluetooth verification, where your in your phone there is the one notification come from the Google, and you need to turn on your Bluetooth and you need to turn on the device Bluetooth, where both of the Bluetooth are connected and verified. Then and then you are allowed to enter into your Google account. Keep your device and browsers and apps up to date. That is always recommend, because due to that there is the so many kind of the vulnerabilities are allow, and they have a red carpet to come into your system. And the backup always critical files and always encrypted. Delete a sensitive information, and if you found a suspicious, then report it. That's it from my side. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of ACIC Rise Association, Chandigarh Engineering College Landran, and CyberHawks Intelligence Services, I would like to thank both of our speakers, Mr. Devinder Singh and Ms.